Thank you, Chris. Good morning, Seal Beach family. I have to admit, it is very weird to be here without you this morning. It's oddly quiet, and as strange as it feels to not have you all here with us, I know that it is the most loving, kind thing that we can do for one another is to support the health and wellness of our community and our congregation and our society. So I hope that you are well and doing good. Ralph Waldo Emerson, he said that it's only the finite that rots and suffers, but the infinite lies stretched in smiling repose. And so I hope you are this morning in your pajamas, in your bed, in your living room, stretched in smiling repose, in love and not fear, knowing that there is only one life, that there is only one great good, and that although the material world might not be representing that, enough is we have and we have a brand new musician with us this morning, Charlotte Gay. I'm sorry if you couldn't hear any of that. And then we also have a full service in store for you. We have our practitioner this morning, Marjorie Ray. We have our guest speaker this morning, Reverend Donna Baranyay, and Reverend Michael Heinle will be speaking a little bit. And one of our newly elected Leadership Council members, John Partington, will be giving the offering this morning. So with that, I just have a couple of announcements. The first announcement is if you knew a practitioner, she was a practitioner for quite some time at the Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living. Her name was Lynn Fielder, and she will be having a remembrance ceremony celebration online, and we will put the link to that in the comment below this Facebook Live feed. And the second announcement is that on Wednesday, we'll be having a call for prayer. And so we will send out a Zoom link so that we can come together as a community online at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Wednesday to be in prayer and community together, maybe doing some meditation and chanting and prayer. So those are the two announcements for now. And I would like to invite Marjorie Ray to come up. Here you go.
Do I use? All right, I'm going to use this one. Today I'm reading from Ernest Holmes' 365, and it's actually from March 14th, and it's called The Immutable Law. There is a power in which things are possible. This power, or law of mind, is right where we are, and we use it with every thought we think. To come into the greater possibility of good that is open to each of us, we must use it constructively. This is what we do in giving spiritual mind treatment, which we call practicing the science of mind. Taking our inspiration from God's indwelling spirit within us, we cause the law to operate for us at our level of consciousness. When Jesus said that we should seek the kingdom of heaven first and everything else would be added, he was telling us that when our consciousness lifts itself above the confusion and enters the peace of spirit, then our word is spoken from this center, is acted upon immutably, producing the desired effect. We are not making the prayer work or using spiritual mind treatment to force things to happen any more than we would be compelling the reflection of our likeness to be cast from the mirror when we stand in front of it. Such a reflection is automatic. It is certain to look exactly like the image. In such a manner, our thought reflects into a creative medium that returns its image. So, Today, as we go into our meditation, okay, one-handed, I'm going to invite you wherever you are to get comfortable, your feet flat on the floor, relax your shoulders, take a breath in, and allow the confusion to just be released. Take another breath in and allow the worry and doubt to just let go. And then allow the bowl to take you into that center that is peace, that peace that passeth understanding, that is love, that is harmony. Ah, that place that knows all's right with my soul. And as we go into the silent meditation, contemplate, all's right in my soul. I am peace, I am love. As we bring ourselves, bring this sense of peace and love back. Keep it in our soul as we come together for this service over the ethers in the world, knowing that it is so divinely guided, that each person here is expressing that love and that peace as we move through this service, trusting and knowing that we are each experiencing that same peace and love, knowing that Donna's message is divinely guided, coming from that center that is God, and each person on the podium is divinely guided. So this service is in perfect divine right order and already done in the mind of God. And so I release it into the ethers, knowing that it is so, and so it is.
Land of I am, all that I have been, I am, more than I will be, I am, all that I am. In the land of I am, all that I have been, I am, more than I will be, I am, all that I am. In the land of I am, all that I have been, I am, more than I will be, I am, all that I am. In the land of I am, all that I have been, I am, more than I will be, I am, all that I am. In the land of I am, all that I have been, I am, more than I will be, I am, all that I am. In the land of I am, all that I have been, I am, more than I will be, I am, all that I am. In the land of I am, all that I have been, I am, more than I will be, I am, all that I am. In the land of I am, all that I have been, I am, more than I will be, I am, all that I am. In the land of I am, all that I have been, I am, more than I will be, I am, all that I am. In the land of I am, all that I have been, I am, more than I will be, I am, all that I am.
Okay. Good morning. Peace begins with a smile. Mother Teresa. I loved what Chris sang in her song, talking about nurturing embrace and what was it, divinely guided? Divine embrace. I think that's what we're all feeling right now, even though we're apart in distance. We're not apart in heart. And I think that's the one thing that I'm reminded of in this moment, is there's a divine peace that passes all understanding, and it's surrounding and unfolding each and every one of us today. And as I was planning on talking about new life today and what the womb represents of a holding space of new ideas, of a holding space of the love that's present, I truly believe in this moment what we're feeling called possibly is for compassion for one another. That there's this divine urge within us that's calling itself forth to love one another. I had the honor of talking with many people yesterday, and the one thing that I remember through the thread of all those conversations was the love that we have for one another. And as Reverend Nicole shared in her message, that it is love for one another, that we are unfoldment this morning for our service. Because it is true that in the midst of each and every experience is God, whether we're present, whether we are through phone or text or email, the divine truth is God is in the center in that moment. That this opportunity to come together through technology is an opportunity to remember the one mind. When Chris was talking about Mother God this morning, I had gone back to look at what Scripture teaches of the Great Mother. And it says that it is typically symbolized by a cave, according to traditional Christianity. And it's the sum total of all possibilities, all potentials, its fertility and its abundance. So what is it that's maybe calling forth from with you this morning? And through this time, through what's unfolding in our world right now, we're having a little bit more downtime. I loved what hi Pam, I know you're out there today. We spoke yesterday, you and Keith, and many others are out there today watching. Pam suggested on our Facebook that we take this time to reconnect with one another. Maybe there's a board game we've been wanting to try, or a new card game we've wanted to learn with our family, but we didn't have time. Now we have the time. Pick up that board game. Talk to each other. Maybe it's an opportunity to go deeper into your spirituality. Someone once said this is a great time to be a religious scientist, and I agree. Because we are taught to love one another, to come from that space within and know that divine truth of who we are. This is an opportunity to hold that highest and best truth. As practitioners, we're trained to know the highest and best good. That is what I see when I look out amongst the world. No matter what's happening, I absolutely know there's a divine presence expressing itself. And how do we relate that to ourselves now? Ernest Holmes says, all the power of the universe is with you. Feel it, know it, and then act as if it was true. So if we have that power within us, what is it we're feeling called to do? What is it that we're feeling called to honor in this time? Reverend Eric Butterworth, he's a unity minister, and I'm following their Lenten practice in their book called Fasting and Feasting 2020. And what he shares in the devotional for today, I'm going to read just a part of it. He says, one of the problems of our time is that in living and moving in crowds, we tend to become depersonalized. We lose perspective of ourselves and our relationship to one another and to life and the universe. We tend to live at the circumference of our being and to become totally other-directed. Happy conditions make for our happiness, and inharmonious conditions make for confusion and inner conflict. We lose sight of our uniqueness as integral parts of the universe. The need is to be still and listen and let God sing its song through you. Marjorie started that with her meditation this morning, remembering the uniqueness, remembering the truth of who we are. Reverend Eric Butterworth goes on to say, listen to the voice of silence within. It is saying to you, you are a unique and wonderful individual. You are important. You are not just a statistic, but a vital part of the universe. Truly, you live in its center. You are its center. You are God's living enterprise. God has something wonderful to say through you, which it can only say as you. The cosmos can never be quite complete without you. And it's an excerpt from his book called Celebrate Yourself. And again, that's a reminder that we have that opportunity to celebrate the truth of who we are. That even in this moment, as Reverend Nicole shared, we miss you here. We recognize and know that you are here in our hearts, just as we are with you in your hearts, because there is that unity, that connection. And I believe that is the highest and best good that's unfolding for each and every one of us. Maybe there's a new dream that's wanting to come forth from you, and you hadn't had time to listen to that voice. Now's the time. Maybe there's a seed that wants to come forth. In order for a seed to blossom, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you're a gardener, Chris, that the seed has to be broken open for it to be released, what's inside that seed to be released into the soil, for it to then blossom and grow. Maybe there's something within you that's that seed, that divine seed. We love daffodils at this time of year, and those represent new beginnings. I learned that this week when I was looking at flowers and their meanings. Daffodils represent new beginnings and rebirth, which is what we're about to do with spring. Within nature and the seasons, within our own self and our own spiritual nature, it's an opportunity to come forth and express itself in unique ways. Amongst all of that there's an opportunity for compassion and for grace to express itself, because there is that amazing light that we are. As Chris reminded us this morning, I am light. We are the light. Let us remember to shine it. I sometimes think of us as being lighthouses where they hold the strength. They don't go looking. They in the sea when the sailors are trying to find their way to shore. That light guides them through whatever's coming through, whether it's raging water or rocks or whatever it might be. That lighthouse, that light guides them. We can be that light in our world now as well, knowing that highest and best truth. We can shine the light of love, of who we are. That divine mother that's expressing itself is always present, always. Ernest Holmes shares in Thoughts Are Things, another one of my favorite go-to books. He says, the Spirit of God is an undivided and indivisible wholeness. It fills all time with its presence and permeates space with the activity of its thought. Your endeavor, then, is not so much to find God as it is to realize God's presence and to understand that this presence is always with you. Nothing can be nearer to you than that which is the very essence of your being. Your outward search for God culminates in the greatest of all possible discoveries, finding God at the center of your own being. For life flows up from within you. That's something I sometimes meditate on, is allowing that life to flow through me, as me, in me, and to recognize that higher truth of who we are. In this moment, we come from a place of love. We come from a place of anchored in that knowingness that no matter what is unfolding around us, we can hold that space of light, of love, of understanding, of compassion, of grace, of acceptance. And to have this opportunity to love one another, and whatever that means, maybe writing a letter to someone you hadn't had time to write a letter to, or to reconnect. Write that book you've been thinking about, or that song. Who knows what could possibly come forth from all of this? But what I do know is it's God ordained and it's love. Because there's a higher understanding. When we think of the womb, we think of that which holds the space for new life to be born. What is it that's calling you? We're so used to being so busy, and we're figuring out what it is we have to do, but there's an opportunity to really check in with ourselves. Honor that divine seed that's within us. And love. Truly love. Whatever that means to you. We're getting more and more time with our children at home. We're having time with our families. I don't know about you, but I'm learning how to do social media in ways I never thought I would. Because we're finding other ways to connect. That's the gift. We're finding ways to connect. We're finding ways to find the commonalities, the similarities, the presence of God, and all of that's unfolding for us right now. And when we talk about the law and religious science, that's that impersonal response to whatever we put into the universe in our thoughts. One of my favorite mentors, and I'm house sitting this week for her daughter, she used to always tell me when we would talk when I was in ministerial school, you can't plant carrots and expect peas. Whenever we were having a mentoring session and I was upset about something and I was trying to figure something out, because I was in chaplain training and ministerial school at the same time, she'd tell me, you can't plant carrots and get peas. And then she'd ask me to meditate on that. And what I realized was I had to pay attention to my thoughts. What was going on around me? What was going on within me? If there were peas and I really wanted carrots or radishes or roses, I had to take a look at that. That womb, that space for new creativity is a beautiful place. It gives us that opportunity to grow and to evolve and to shift gears sometimes. I was somewhere yesterday and I overheard two people talking, and she was sharing that her brother had decided at the age of 53 to become an RN. He was in a completely different field his whole life and decided one day he wanted to be an RN. So at 53, he went back to school, and he's an RN now. And I thought, wow, this time of year of rebirth. And here he'd made a decision, the universe conspired, and now he's following his passion. Maybe there's something else that's calling you from within. There's a story called The Two Babies Talking in the Womb, and it reminds me of the Great Mother. I heard this at a conference once, and I just really loved it, so I Googled it. It says, 2 twins were talking in the womb. Tell me, do you believe in life after birth? One twin asked to the other. The other twin says, of course, after birth comes life. Perhaps we are here to prepare for what comes after birth. The other twin, forget it. Birth is nothing. From there, no one is returned, and besides, what would it look like? I do not know exactly, but I feel that there are lights everywhere. Perhaps we walk on our own feet and eat with our mouth. This is utterly stupid. Walking isn't possible, and how can we eat with that ridiculous mouth? Can't you see the umbilical cord? And for that matter, think about it for a second. Postnatal life isn't possible because the cord is too short. Yes, but I think there is definitely something, just in a different way than what we call life. Birth is the end of life, and that's it. Look, I don't know exactly what will happen, but Mother will help us. Mother? Do you believe in a mother? Yes. Come on, don't be ridiculous. Have you seen the mother anywhere? Has anyone seen her? No, but she is all around us. We live within her, and certainly it is thanks to her that we exist. Well, now leave me alone. I will believe in Mother when I see her. You cannot see her, but if you're quiet, you can hear her song, you can feel her love, and if you're quiet, you can feel her caress, and you will feel her protective hands. There is a great mother that surrounds and enfolds us. We believe in a mother, father, God, that there is that unity. And when you think of the mother in the embrace, as in Chris's song earlier, we are held in that sweet embrace of spirit, always. There is that divine love that is present, that expresses itself no matter what is unfolding in a physical appearance. We trust there's a higher idea unfolding, and we may not know what that is yet. Just in that story, I too believe that there is a higher essence that expresses itself, and it holds us, and it creates from within us. It's that love, that joy, that peace of who we are. So I'm going to ask you in this week to think about what it is that's being called through and as you. Maybe there's the percolating of something new. I invite you to take this time to anchor into that. Whatever your spiritual practice is, journaling, talking with a practitioner over phone or email or text or however you choose to do so, journal about it. Write a letter to yourself. Write a letter to a loved one. Maybe this is a time to reconnect with someone that you've been missing. And now you have a few moments to sit down and pray about it and do that, if you feel called to do it. I'm going to close in prayer and just give thanks for this time, recognizing and knowing there's a higher idea unfolding, recognizing and knowing that from within us is a seed, is a love, is an idea, something that's calling itself forth this morning. I recognize and know that it is good. I recognize and know that it is unique for each and every one of us because we are all unique, individualized expressions of spirit. I recognize and know in this moment that there is a heart-to-heart connection no matter where we are on the globe together, because I know we are one. I remember in a Selamar many years ago, it was shared that there's a tapestry of love that connects us invisibly from our hearts to one another. And that is the truth that I sense and know and claim right now, because I absolutely know there's a higher idea unfolding for each and every one of us, that I invite us to take this time to feel that essence of light surrounding and enfolding us and radiating out from within us. as we express this truth in this moment. And above all, I know there is love that is so present, connecting and guiding us each and every moment. Grateful for the grace, for the compassion, for the empathy that we have for one another right now, for loving one another. I already know that all is unfolding in ease and grace this morning. As I say, thank you, God, and release my word into the law, it is done, and so it is. I'm going to invite Chris up for our next wonderful song.
Good morning. My name is John Partington. I was recently elected to the Leadership Council of our beloved Jewel by the Sea. I look forward to serving in that capacity. One thing I love about this church is the love and compassion we show to our family here and also to our extended family, those communities surrounding us, whether it's feeding the homeless, giving out the care bags to the homeless organized by Steve Blue, taking care of the sick, comforting those experiencing loss, or our monthly tithe. We know how to give. Each month, our church tithes to local organizations. This month, the organization selected is Pathways to Independence. Pathways' mission is to assist young women in getting an education and becoming independent, self-sufficient members of society by providing the love, support, and resources they require to heal emotionally and live productively. Pathways to Independence commits to making profound and productive changes in the lives of women age 18 to 35 in Long Beach and Orange County who have been neglected by their families and societies. They have served over 300 women in 28 years of operation. Clients are obtained through word of mouth, and there are usually about 50 women being served at a time, with another 25 on a waiting list. It was founded in 1991 by educators Dave and Joyce Bishop. The Bishop's initial goal was to help a former student, Monica, get advanced education and achieve self-sufficiency. Monica was the product of a dysfunctional alcoholic family, and at age 19 with a 2-year-old daughter and no support. With the Bishop's help, Monica was able to get advanced training and a full-time job with health benefits for her and her daughter. A wonderful organization. I am pleased to give this check to the Pathways of Independence. Now is the time for our offering. I know you're all at home. Grab your checkbooks. Grab those envelopes. Put your money in the envelope and bring it in when you come see us again. We still need your support here at your Jewel by the Sea. So let's say together the offering, if you would. You all know it. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prospered. Thank you, God.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. We are so blessed, we are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Michael, and it's that time where we normally do our prayer at the end of the service. And what I want us all to know is now is the time that we use our most powerful resource, our beautiful aspects of the creative one, each of our community members, and do our work in prayer, our affirmative prayers, our spiritual mind treatments. And we're all different aspects of this one light. So I welcome all of our experiences and all of our prayers right here and right now. So do your prayer work from home. So if you are an absolutist and just practice to always know the truth, we welcome your consciousness. So if you are one that's immersed in the mystical and can give us guidance on the path forward, we welcome your consciousness. If you're one that is guided by a deep sense of knowing, or knowing from within will come from within to without, we welcome your consciousness. And if you are one that speaks your voice of compassion, we welcome your consciousness. And I'd like to use a prayer that one of our beloved ministers in the movement, Reverend David Alexander, wrote. It's a blessing for the pandemic. It goes like this. May we who are merely inconvenienced remember those whose life is at stake. May we who have no risk factors remember those who are more vulnerable. May we who have the luxury of working from home remember those who must choose between protecting their health and making the rent. May we who have the flexibility to care for our children when their schools close remember those who have no options. May we who have to cancel our trips remember those who have no safe place to go. May we who are losing our margin in the economic market remember those who have no margin at all. May we who settle in for a quarantine at home remember those that have no home. And as our nation and communities in our world is gripped by fear, let each of us choose love. While we cannot find ways to wrap our arms around each other, let us find new ways to be the loving embrace of God. And from our founder, Ernest Holmes, he tells us this, which is applicable to this situation. He says, peace is the power at the heart of God. Our peace is found there at the heart of God. And it does not matter how closely the confusion of the outer world presses against me. As I go within, I find the peace of God within me, and the peace of God is within you. And now I'd like to close this with a treatment, just going within to the power and the presence of the One, going within to that essence of God, because we truly know that God is all there is. And no matter what the external world influences press us against us, this concept of fear, we go within to the joy and the peace and the love and the power and the presence that is the divine in me and you and everyone we come in contact with. We now speak our word and allow that peace and presence and joy to unfold, to come forward, to show us this beautiful way right here and right now in the situation that we walk through each and every day. And I now just speak my word and speak my word for authority, that we are these beautiful, divine, immortal expressions of spirit right here and right now. And we will allow what's inside of us, what we recognize as the power and the truth of who we are, to come forward and guide our every step, guide our every action, because we know we are loved. We know we are love. And we know it is ours to walk that forward in the world. And for this beautiful life of spirit, life of God, life of presence, I say thank you. It's my life. in each and every one of our lives watching this video right now. And for this life, I simply say, and so it is. And now we want to do our peace song. So if you'll join your virtual hands out there, we can say, we can say our normal response. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in all that I do.
Life is in all that I do.
I honor it,
I honor it
and I accept it,
and I accept it,
just the way that it is,
just the way that it is,
and just the way that it is not.
and just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life. Let there be peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take,